All right, last update, Shane. Let's kick it on down to Athens, where had a little bit of coaching drama this week already with Scott Cochran. Still, unclear exactly what in the world is going on there. Just said that he needed to step away with his mental health. So, hope everything's well with him. But that left an opening, and Will Muschamp stepped right on in and is taking charge down there. So it's pretty wild that on the Georgia coaching staff, we got Kirby Smart, we got Muschamp, and we got Dan Lanning, three of the top minds in recent SEC history on the defensive side of the ball. And they all have coordinator experience. Two of them got head coaching experience. Two of them played together. So it's kind of, I don't want to say Dan Lanning's in a weird spot, but he might be in a little bit of a weird spot, Shay, because Kirby's old buddy is in town, and not only was he an analyst overseeing basically what Dan Lanning was doing, now he's working under him. So I don't know. What do you make of that dynamic down there?
Yeah, this is classic good old boys right here, man. I mean, I think back, there was a video that came out, and those guys on the sideline. Now, this is back when Muschamp was with South Carolina, and you just see them over there just cutting up and having a good time. These guys are friends. They're co-workers, they're employees. I mean, it's definitely as boss as Kirby, but these guys are buddies, and does not surprise me that Scott is on the way out. I mean, our eyebrows were raised when he got the opportunity. We were actually happy. I don't know if you remember that pod, Mike, but we were happy, man, because he's always been the weight guy, the weightlifting guy, the guy yelling around, making Aflac commercials with Saban. He's like, got a shot. And, problem is his best friend came to town, and so the writing was on the wall, and maybe that's what happened. I don't know. I don't want to speculate what happened behind doors, but the one thing that I do want to say, Mike, is this is good. This is good for Georgia. I'm not worried about Lanning, because honestly, this may be his last year anyway. He's always been, if you think about it, how many coaching jobs has he been rumored to have?
Right.
So it wouldn't surprise me if this is kind of similar. Him go somewhere and maybe Muschamp move up. But Muschamp, everywhere he goes as a head coach, hasn't been great, but as an assistant coach, has been fantastic. Right. You think about it when he went to Auburn. You think about when he went to Texas. Hell, even when he was down there with LSU with Nick Saban, the defense got better. So as a Georgia fan, I'm extremely pumped up that he's more involved with the defense. So I think this is a good thing for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Now, one thing Dan Lanning was also asked about, in addition to Will Muschamp joining the staff, but on the pass defense, because Georgia has been just so damn good stopping the run. But, when I think about it in recent, specifically last season, but, Alabama torched them, Florida torched them, and now they got completely rebuilt secondary there with all the corners gone from last season, and they're going into a season facing Clemson, who's got a touted quarterback. And I don't know if you heard this news, Shane, but Clemson's outstanding receiver, Justin Ross, he's officially cleared. He's ready to go. He missed all last season. And that's the guy that torched Alabama in the national championship game. So, man, they have got a tall task in front of them right out the gate with, they had added plenty of transfers. They've been signing 5 stars in the last couple of years. So they've got the talent. Now it's on Dan Lanning and this coaching staff to really improve upon this pass defense right out the gate.
Dan, I wanted to ask about pass defense going forward. It's obviously, you look at the NFL draft, not a talent issue last couple of years. Your all's run defense, 1-2 in the country, your first 2 years as coordinator. Pass defense, is there anything you can do at this point? Have you spent the greater part of the last offseason trying to figure this out? And obviously you don't want to tell Clemson whether you've concocted a magic formula, but where are you in trying to figure out how to navigate this?
Yeah, I think, Seth, the game is certainly obviously changing, and we've always been built on stopping the run. I don't think that piece changes, but we have to be, creative. And I think every single year that we've been here defensively, and Coach Smart's always pushed this, we're going to continue to look to adapt and change. You bring in Coach Adai from West Virginia, had the number 1 pass defense in the nation. last year you obviously had Coach Muschamp in the mix, and we'll always have some new, fresh ideas of how we can adapt and do things differently. And then a lot of it plays to your players' strengths. When you have guys like Tyson Campbell and Eric Stokes, you're going to play and put those guys on islands a little bit more. And there were some more explosive plays last year than we want, and we're charting those and keeping track of those throughout practice. But we'll definitely adapt and look for ways to prevent those shots down the field.
Coach, will Coach Muschamp keep his nose in the defensive meeting room at all? And what has he brought, I guess, to you personally? He's known as a guy that's been in the business a long time, very popular in that building.
Yeah, I just have such a tremendous respect for Coach Muschamp and the job he does. He's a guy that I lean on a lot, for advice, really in every situation, whether it be football, life. But yeah, I definitely think that he will be involved with us on defense, and excited to see that as it continues to develop.
All right, Shane. So there you got it from Dan Lanning, and it's interesting because it certainly seemed like he I don't want to say he got upset at this question because I didn't get that, but it's funny when somebody asks and they're like, well, yeah, you're the best in the nation against the run, but let me pick at this scab that you're not perfect at. And I can only imagine what's going on in his head about like just coaching an SEC country where hell, nothing's ever good enough until you win it all. You know what?
Yeah, it isn't. And then when you get so close to the sun, you know what I'm saying? It's like they really got to nitpick here when they're trying to find flaws in your program. And obviously some of those reared their head last year, clearly toward the tail end of the season, actually the beginning of the season. Mm-hmm. And I thought that defense was hitting on all cylinders out of the gate, and they just kind of drifted a little bit toward the tail end. So I don't know. It's easy to pass the blame game, but there was a lot of factors with Georgia last year. And I think the expectations are so damn high that they're not going to be able to make excuses anymore. And I think that's why it's nitpick, because you're trying to find a small problem or make a big problem out of something small. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, man. They have no excuses. I know I'm rambling, but damn, this is it. This is the year.
Yeah, and you even made me, I don't know why I just flashed back to this game. I'm sorry to bring it up for you, but when they played Tennessee, remember Jerry Garantano, he did have like basically two perfect passes to who was it? I think it was Brandon Johnson who came down with both, and Tennessee jumped out to the lead. And maybe you sit there and say, well, what the hell's wrong with Georgia's secondary? But there is no defense for the perfect pass. And and if you remember, outside of those two passes, it was like nothing new it all day long. So maybe we're making a little bit too much out of Georgia's secondary, kind of getting toasted last year.
You've been golfing with me before, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we've gone 18 holes, and out of 18 holes, I may have hit 1 to 2 good drives. That doesn't make me a great golfer. I was just lucky 2 out of the 18 times. So that's what happened to Georgia. I mean, you think about that game. It started with the fumble over the head. I mean, like the gods were giving us a chance to